whether my audio and video is clear or not. क्या मेरा ऑडियो और वीडियो क्लियर है? इफ इट इज क्लियर यू कैन जस्ट राइट क्लियर इन द चैट बॉक्स. राइट, क्या मेरा ऑडियो और वीडियो क्लियर है? इफ इट इज क्लियर जस्ट राइट क्लियर इन द चैट बॉक्स. कोई कह रहा है क्लियर क्लियर ऑल क्लियर. ओके, किसी ने कहा है सर आज आप स्मार्ट दिख रहे हो. ओके जी, ओके, मान लेता हूं आज मैं स्मार्ट दिख रहा हूँ. वेरी वेरी गुड. राइट, आर्यन बोल रहा है सर अपनी खुद से तारीफ कर रहे हैं. ओके आर्यन, ये भी मान लेता हूँ. ठीक है, चलो ग्रेट गाइस, फटाफट 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 जो जो कनेक्टेड है, those who are connected with us on YouTube, those who are connected with on Zoom, फटाफट फटाफट वीडियोस ऑन कर लीजिएंगे. Right, because today's session is really important where we are going to be discussing on multiple things about multiple domains, multiple career options which are available, how do you apply off campus, and what all options and things which are available. Great. So great, guys. Before I start in, just wanted to check with all of you. Is it your first session, second session, third session, or you have attended some sessions before? पहला session है, दूसरा session है, तीसरा session है. Chat box पे बताएंगे. Okay, someone is attending fourth session. Oh my God, someone is having said many sessions I've attended. Bang on. Someone is mentioning that it is my second session. Someone is mentioning it is my third session. Okay. पहली बार इंसान गलती से आ सकता है, दूसरी बार गलती से नहीं आएगा. Right, that means something great you are going to be learning in today's session. That is what we are going to be trying to do. Okay, कुणाल जी मान लिया. कुणाल जी कह रहे हैं सर स्मार्ट लग रहे हो. थैंक यू जी, थैंक यू. राइट, चलो ग्रेट. So great, guys. First of all, congratulations to all of you, those who are joining for the first time. Really happy to see the two words in front of your name, and that is chartered accountant. Right? I don't know how many years of efforts you have put in, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, right? And finally, it's a time to nurture it out, this degree by getting पैसा. राइट, हाँ, सच कह रहा हूँ. राइट, एवरीबडी हैव अ नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट गोल इज टू गेट द बेस्ट पैकेजेस. राइट, आइदर आई एम करेक्ट और नॉट, यू कैन जस्ट मेंशन मी इन द चैट बॉक्स. दिव्या कह रही है सही कह रहे हो सर, अगला गोल है पैसा कमाना, बाकी सब चीजें होती रहेगी. बाकी सब चीजें होती रहेगी, अगला गोल है पैसा कमाना. बहुत ही शानदार. Right, chalo great, and that is why we are here today to help you out, to guide you, to understand which all career options are available to you guys, what all things you can choose as a part of your career options, and which all domains are available. Once that is done, we are going to be then moving forward to the also going to be discussing about what all other career or other job portals which are available where you have to create your job account. Bye now. Before I start in, I would request all of you to have a pen and paper because you need to jot down a lot more things. And I'll also share the summary in our WhatsApp groups. If you have not joined the WhatsApp group, the link for the same is given on a YouTube live video. Just check it out. There are two WhatsApp groups, important groups. One is November 24 CA, where all the important updates and vacancy comes. And second is the finance job group, where a lot of vacancies are posted out. ठीक है, तो आप वहाँ पे दोनों जगह please join कर लीजिए so that you don't miss out anything. Chalo, great. With this, we'll start with the very interesting session on off-campus placements and domain-wise guidance. Now, many of you, after becoming a CA, have started working on two things. Number one is you have started hunting for a jobs. One of the most important platform, which is going to be really, really important and going to be important for you guys, is the Naukri portal. Right? Everybody have to create your job portal or your account on the Naukri portal itself. Reason being, lot of vacancies comes in through नौकरी. राइट, एक नौकरी जॉब पोर्टल होता है जहां पे आपको अपना प्रोफाइल बनाना है. Now understand one thing. Whenever you are going to be creating your profile on Naukri, there are few parameters which is going to be really important. The first parameter is, of course, your profile should be 100% complete. Right? If it is not 100% complete, you need to ensure that your profile is 100% complete. There are few parameters based on which you will, of course, get some calls or your profile is going to be ranked as a high profile if you are regularly logging and logging out on a Naukri. That is one. Second is you respond to the mails of the recruiters which are there. And third, you keep on updating your profile every day. तो नौकरी से आपको कॉल तभी आएगा जब आप ये तीनों पैरामीटर्स मीट आउट करोगे. What is the most important parameter when you have created your profile? The important parameter is the search appearances. Right? Ki how do you increase your search appearances? मतलब क्या? If HR is searching for a November 24 qualified chartered accountant, your name should be there. Right? Higher the search appearances, higher the call you get. Lesser the search appearances, lesser the call you get. As simple as that. Now the question is, right, this is something you have to work on. This is going to be worked based on your profile creation, how good your profile is created. राइट आपका प्रोफाइल कितना अच्छा बना है, कितने अच्छे आपने कीवर्ड्स लिखे हैं, बेस्ड ऑन दैट यू विल बी एबल टू गेट सम ऑफ द वैकेंसीज व्हिच आर देयर. Naukri also have a search bar engine where you can just search it out CA fresher. Simple. यहाँ पे आप CA fresher search करिए, experience fresher डालिए and click on search bar. You'll start getting some of the job vacancies posted by some of the companies for CA freshers. Some of the vacancies which are there, and a few vacancies are posted few hours ago. Few vacancies will filter out. Further, you can filter it out based on date. ठीक है, कौन सी वैकेंसीज अभी ताजा ताजा 3 मिनट पहले जेनपैक ने वैकेंसी डाली है आपके लिए. राइट, तो you'll be able to see lot of vacancies which are there through a Naukri portal. Right. Of course, we will have a very detailed guidance session on Naukri. How do you use it out? How to put the keywords? इस पे 2 घंटे में अलग से सेशन लेता हूँ in our training workshop कि how do you increase your search appearances, which is there. But this is a basic stuff you should know. Second most important thing is your LinkedIn profile. Right, LinkedIn profile should be very good enough when it comes to creation of a profile. One or two things you have to do it out when you're going on a LinkedIn is, of course, you have to keep your profile open to find a new job, and you have to put a title for which you're looking for a job. Say, for example, I'm looking for audit manager, right, or audit senior. Put a titles which you are looking for a job for. Put a location. Put your location type. Immediately, if you're looking for a job, full time, part time, and then you can select the option which is there. You can select recruiter only if you want to showcase to the recruiters that you're looking for a job, or you can select all the members. Based on that, you can create your account. Once that is done, click on save. Once you click on save, your profile is going to be activated and recruiters will be able to find out that you're looking for a job. That is one way to do it. Second way, of course, is a job section. Job section से भी आपको काफी सारी jobs मिलेगी, which is there. So you can just put a keyword. LinkedIn and Naukri works on a keyword section, which is there. Right? Pure keyword पे work करते हैं. Say for example, if you put, say for example, November 24 CA, India, तुरंत मुझे दिख गई गोल्डमैन की वैकेंसी. I don't know how many of you have seen this out. This vacancy is already shared with you guys in the WhatsApp group. राइट, गोल्डमैन की 3 वैकेंसीज मैंने शेयर की है विच वाज फॉर नवंबर 24 क्वालिफाइड चाहिए. क्या किया, सिर्फ कीवर्ड डाला और वैकेंसी मिल गई. राइट, तो दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, राइट, सो दैट यू कैन गेट अ गुड वैकेंसीज आउट. तो जॉब सेक्शन इज रियली इंपॉर्टेंट व्हिच इज देयर. ठीक है, एंड थर्ड ऑफ कोर्स योर होम सेक्शन. वंस यू आर हियर इन अ सर्च बार, यू कैन सर्च सम ऑफ द कीवर्ड्स. बेस्ड ऑन दैट यू कैन गेट सम ऑफ द वैकेंसीज. है ना, ये 3-4 तरीके से आप वैकेंसीज ढूंढ सकते हैं. ऑफ कोर्स देयर आर मोर डिटेल वेज टू डू इट आउट, but because of a constraint of a time, right, these are two major platforms through which you can find out the vacancies. What are other job portals through which you can create a vacancy or find out a vacancies out? Of course, there are other job portals like Indeed, IM Jobs, right? ये सब जगह से भी आपको काफी सारे calls आएंगे. Now, please understand, many of you believe that if I create a profile on Naukri or LinkedIn, मुझे call आ जाएगा. इल्ले, ऐसा नहीं होता. Right? Next, आप सुनिए, right? What is going to be really important is that your profile should be very strong enough. You should have a very good keywords. That is really important when you create your profile. Right? कुछ लोगों को लगता है कि मैंने फॉर्म भर दिया, मैंने नौकरी पे अकाउंट बना लिया तो मेरे को कॉल आएगा. नहीं होता बेटा ऐसे. Right? What you have to do, you have to keep your profile updated. You have to keep keywords updated, which is really, really important whenever you're going to be applying for a job. ठीक है, अब छोटा सा एग्जांपल देते हैं. अब एक जस्ट गिविंग एन एग्जांपल व्हिच इज देयर. इफ यू कुड सी दिस आउट, यहाँ पे देखो कीवर्ड लिखा है. राइट, ये नौकरी का पोर्टल है, कीवर्ड लिखा है. अब मेरे प्रोफाइल में कीवर्ड नहीं है, कैसे पता पड़ेगा कीवर्ड कौन से हैं? ये देखो कीवर्ड्स. तो आई हैव टू पुट दिस कीवर्ड्स इन माय प्रोफाइल सेक्शन so that my profile is going to be shortlisted for a gen pack. Okay, so what is really important? Really important part is whenever you're going to be creating a profile, you should have a very good profile when you're going to be applying for the same. Apply करना आसान है, but काफी लोग कीवर्ड देखे बिना अप्लाई कर देते हैं. सर, ये कीवर्ड कहाँ पे आएंगे? अरे बड़ा ही सिंपल है. गो टू प्रोफाइल सेक्शन. प्रोफाइल सेक्शन में आपको दिख जाएंगे कीवर्ड्स. राइट, जस्ट लेट मी जस्ट पुट क्रॉस थ्रू हियर. यहाँ पे दिख रहा है कीवर्ड्स. यहाँ पे कैन पुट सम कीवर्ड्स चाहते हैं. राइट, तो दिस इज समथिंग यू हैव टू डू. Right, this is again a very basic stuff you'll get to know, right, in our workshop also in a detailed manner when we'll go through it. But yes, just this is something you should know when you're creating a profile on Naukri and LinkedIn. सर, कौन से अदर जॉब पोर्टल्स आपने बोला? देखो, देयर आर अदर जॉब पोर्टल्स लाइक इंडीड, IM जॉब्स. राइट, यहाँ पे भी आप अपने अकाउंट बना लीजिए. दैट इज देयर. राइट, इट इज अगेन गोना बी हेल्पिंग यू आउट टू गेट सम ऑफ द गुड वैकेंसीज. राइट, व्हिच इज देयर. हाँ, ग्लासडोर पे भी बना सकते हो, नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. बट मेजर वैकेंसीज आपको इन 3-4 प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे ही मिलेगी. गॉट इट. One more platform which is created by us, which is called as a Sambhav placement program, which is there where a lot of companies comes and participates. and a lot of vacancy comes in. So if you're also serious and interested to apply into those companies, you can also fill out a summer placement form. राइट फॉर्म का लिंक मैं फिर से चैट पे डाल देता हूँ एंड ऑल्सो पीपल कैन check it out on YouTube live as well. मैं वहाँ पे भी डाल सकता हूँ. You can just check it out and I'll just also put it out in the chat for a WhatsApp यहाँ पे in the Zoom chat. Both of the places I've shared it out. यहाँ पे भी lot of companies comes in and you can just apply it through us and you can schedule your interviews depending on your profile. As and when your profile gets shortlisted, you'll get a call from our team or HR saying that you are hired for respective roles. Now the question is, sir, why the hell you're discussing about off-campus so much? Reason being, please understand, right? Campus में you will get 4 companies only. Campus में सिर्फ 4 companies है. Off campus unlimited companies है to apply for, right? So generally, I recommend the people to please start preparing well for your interviews, and once that is done, you keep on applying for a company which is there, right? क्योंकि you never know campus में कौन सी companies आएगी. So that is why it is really important for you guys to ensure that you are going to be creating your profile here. Got it, sir. Now, next, moving to the understanding of where do you start your career domain, which is the most important part of a session. Now, I want your 100% attention because session is going to be getting heavier, which is there. देखो, there are 16 job portals through which you can create your account. राइट 16 जॉब पोर्टल से मैं दे सकता हूँ 16 के 16, बट 16 के 16 में बनाते जाओगे तो बहुत टाइम लग जाएगा. तो पहले वो उस पे बनाओ जहाँ पे ज्यादा वैकेंसीज आती है, राइट? विच इज देयर. नौकरी में बना लो, लिंक्डइन शुड बी देयर, राइट? इंडियन आईएम जॉब संभव. 5 जगह तो पहले बना लो. ऑफ कोर्स आईसीए कैंपस प्लेसमेंट्स डेट्स आर आउट, फॉर्म फिलिंग इज गोना बी आल्सो आउट. We'll teach out how do you fill out a campus placement form in upcoming sessions, but abhi ke liye just create your profiles at all these places. Got it, sir. Got it. Now let us understand between two things. Sir, I want to start my career, right? I am not able to decide from where I should start my journey into. Right? मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा है मेरे को क्या करना चाहिए. So we'll discuss in a very detailed manner. But before I start, and I always ask a very simple question to all of you guys. You have a 2 choices to do. Number one, you have to decide whether you want to start your career or whether you want to start your job. सर ये डिफरेंस क्या है दोनों में? करियर और जॉब में क्या डिफरेंस है? Now career is something which you do out of your passion, and job is something you only do for money. Right? Passion से पैसा कमाओगे तो you'll make a good life, you'll enjoy it. But when you only work for a money, you'll get frustrated in few years and you'll end up giving a गाली to your boss saying that इसको कुछ नहीं आता, ये बहुत ही बेकार कंपनी and what not. Right? So what is really important for you guys is to decide your career option wisely, and that is why we are going to be discussing this career options in a very detailed manner for you guys. Let us start with the first CA core services, which is there. Let's start with the auditing. The auditing is divided into 2 or 3 different parts, which I say it out: stat audit, internal audit, and forensics. Now, when you talk about a statutory audit domain, listen it out very carefully. Stat audit, major hiring you will find it out nowadays is happening in the global firms as well as Indian firms. Sir, what is a global firm? Dekho, very simple. Let's talk about Deloitte USI, PwC HDC, KPMG Global Services, EY GTS. All these are global firms. What they do? They have a client outside India. Let's assume the client is Meta or Facebook. That client is going to be outsourcing, or that client has appointed EY as auditor, which is EY US office is appointed as auditor. What EY US office will do, they will outsource the work to Indian offices because the cost of a manpower is cheaper in India and the quality of work is good enough. That is what they believe. So what they'll do in a global firm, you will get the outsourced work, which is given by the EY US office to India. Now, depending on a client you're going to be plotted on, depending on a country you're going to be plotted on, you will be getting a work. So majority of a hiring in stat audit, you will also find it out given by a global firms, right? Which is there. It can be either of 4 or either of 6 or either of any other companies which are there, right? Once you divide this Indian and global firms, right? This global firms also call the stat audit as assurance services. So don't get confused when you hear the new name in the market, assurance services, which is going to be pure stat audit, right? Everybody know how does a stat audit works, right? But to be honest, I'll just give you a brief. Stat audit is divided into 5 major parts. You start with the pre-planning, then you go for a planning, then you go for risk assessment, then you go for substantive testing, and then you go for a conclusion. Interview questions say, what is the process of stat audit or how do you do a stat audit, right? Interview में पूछेंगे, what all things you do in a planning. Then you say, in planning, we calculate a materiality. They'll give you some financials of a company and they'll ask you to calculate a materiality. ये सीए फाइनल का ऑडिट नहीं है जहां पे आपका रटा हुआ डेफिनेशन चलेगा. इट नॉट गोना बी वर्किंग बिकॉज यू आर गोना बी वर्किंग ऑन अ रियल क्लाइंट. So nowadays companies have started moving to give you a practical data of companies which is there. So stat audit, 5 parts: pre-planning, planning, risk assessment, substantive, and control testing. Why do we do it? Everybody knows it's again a legal requirement that every company have to get their financials audited, which is there. Now, one more very interesting thing, being a chartered accountant, you should know whenever you're going to be going for any of the company's interview, there are multiple sectors which are available when you go for an interview. This is generally which is not known to many of the candidates which are there. So next up, they might say you that we are calling you for a statutory audit or assurance role for TMT domain. अब next आप बोलेंगे what the hell is TMT? TMT is technology, media, entertainment, and telecommunication. It will be plotted under those sector of our clients which are working into TMT sector. What is ISC? ISC is called as infrastructure, industrial, and consumer. FS is financial services. Now, many of the big fours or many of the companies which are going to be hiring for this will be using this jargon word in your pre-screening call. So, what is pre-screening call? A call which you get it before an interview, so that HR can shortlist your profile. A pre-screening call में Pratik को HR ask, Pratik, have you worked in FS? Pratik asks, what is FS? The time Pratik asks what is FS, straightforward HR will reject you because she knows that you have not worked in FS. Although he might have worked it out in FS sector, although he might have worked in financial services, which is NBFC, mutual fund, insurance companies, banking companies, but उसको पता नहीं था what is FS is. So when you're going into the job market, you should know the jargon words used in those industries. Okay, so this is TMT, IIC, and FS. Now, what is the exposure you're going to be getting in a stat audit? Sir, stat audit में career तो बनाऊंगा, right? Please understand, whatever you have done in your articleship was vouching and verification. और many of you, what you have done in your articleship might be only a vouching verification, जहाँ पे आप एक उल्टा टिक लगाते थे, हरे पेन से कुछ तो करते थे, right? That is there, but that is not the process when you go in any of the big four or good organizations. Because nowadays the audit is done with the data analytics. Nowadays the audit is done with lot of other ways, right? And when you're going to be going in a bigger clients, you will be auditing a client which is India's based. I don't know how many of you have worked on a client which was India's based, right? Very few of them. If you have not worked in, you'll get a very good exposure here. You're working with some Fortune 500 companies. You're working with top 100 companies which is listed on the stock markets, guys. So the volume of a client, the exposure of a client is going to be far better when you're going to be moving to a bigger company. That is one. Okay. So you'll get an exposure of working in India's when you get a start audit. Second, you get a great exposure of doing a tax audit because generally a statutory auditor is only, most of the places will be hired as a tax auditor. So that is there. Third, when you as a stat audit, you also have to do a IFC testing. I don't know how many of you are aware of IFC testing. IFC is internal financial control testing. You have to test the processes of the clients and you have to map the what could go wrong relating to that processes and you have to test the controls for that processes. तो आप एक end to end client का company का controls test करते हो, right? Then you also audit a P&L, balance sheet, cash flows, and other compliances related work you are going to be doing. So in short, when you join a start audit, you get a diverse exposure of multiple domains and fields, which is not much available when you join other domains. I don't know how many of you have heard that will get this gyan or have got this gyan from a Didi Bhaiya saying that to Big Four में start audit join कर ले, उसके बाद तेरे life set हो जाएगी. I don't know how many of you have heard that, have got this gyan. If you have got this, you can just write got in the chat box. कितने लोगों को ये जीवन ज्ञान मिला होगा या मिला है ना? If you have got this gun, you can just write got in the chat box कि तू बिग फोर चले जा, तेरा सेट हो जाएगा लाइफ, है ना? ऐसा ज्ञान मिला है. अच्छा, कुछ लोगों को मिला है. ठीक है, चलो ग्रेट. कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं आप ही के पास तो आए हैं सर ज्ञान लेने. वाह, वेरी वेरी गुड. ठीक है, चलो ग्रेट. आई थिंक few of you have got it. Now, one of the reason why people are saying this is first the exposure you get here is of a multiple folds. Multiple folds मतलब क्या? इंडेस भी कर रहे हो, टैक्स ऑडिट भी कर रहे हो, आईएफसी भी कर रहे हो, ऑडिट भी कर रहे हो, right? And from here, the exit which is going to be is bit easier as compared to other domains. So exit थोड़े से ज्यादा हो जाते हैं when you start your journey from a stat audit as compared to other domains. That is one. ठीक है. Moving to industry from a stat audit is also a bit easier. Second thing, you're also doing a control testing. So you're also aware of the processes of the organization. That is also taken care of. You're working with taxation team. So that is also taken care of. Now, Anuji, very interesting examples. Say, for example, there's a merger between two companies. A company and company B got merger. Who will do an audit? A stat auditor. Stat auditor indirectly also get to know the merger of a company. Right? That is taken care of. Acha, merger hua or demerger hua. So again, what is going to be taken care of is valuation. So वो भी देख लेगा एक stat auditor. तो एक bird's eye view हर चीज का मिलेगा. Of course, expertise if you want to build it out into valuation and all those domains, there is a separate department for the same. Got it, sir. Also, do remember that out. Many of the time, you'll hear a stat audit with a different name. which is going to be working into an industry. Just a few of them will say a stat auditor as assurance services department, or we are hiring for a consultant role. Many a times you get a call from a Grant Thornton GT, Big Six firm. This is we are hiring for a consultant role. So don't get confused. Just ask them what does that role mean. Is it a stat audit role or internal audit role? Okay, because HR to jargon words use करेगी, right? So you need to be smart enough to know what is something which they're hiring for. Second most interesting domain, this is a CA core services, which I'm talking about, is the internal audit domain. Right, internal audit is defined under Section 138 of a Companies Act 2013, which definition is different. But according to me, what is an internal audit, guys? Internal audit talks about three major things. I'd be happy if you can parallelly jot it down, although I'll be happy to share this with you guys after the session out. But definitely, we'll also open the forum for doubts. I know there are a few people who are having a doubts, right? Keep your doubts noted, jotted down. And if you want to increase the seriousness and the awareness for this session so that you gain more or grasp more, I'll be happy if you guys can keep your videos on, right? Okay. Now, what are the three major roles of an internal auditor? An internal auditor understands what is the process for the organization. Second, they check out what are the risks involved in that process. And third, they will see what are controls addressing those risks. Right? Let's take a very simple example of bank reconciliation. Right? Say, for example, as an internal auditor, you will see what is the process so that the double payment is not made. एक प्रोसेस है, इंटरनल ऑडिटर चेक करना चाहता है कि डबल पेमेंट ना हो. तो उसने पूछा कंपनी के ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को और द फाइनेंस कंट्रोलर को, सेइंग दैट व्हाट इज द प्रोसेस सो दैट द डबल पेमेंट इज नॉट मेड. Company says we make a proper BRS. Okay. The process is every month a BRS is prepared. This is a process. Now, what all risk is involved in this process? Risk can be a BRS is not reviewed, or even if the BRS is prepared, the double payment is made. This all risk is there. Now, what are the controls addressing those risks? ऐसा क्या कर रही है कंपनी जिससे रिस्क ना हो? तो कंपनी every month MIS prepare कर रही है, through which the BRS is tracked. So that is there. So what you as an internal auditor have to see, internal auditor have to see a company as a whole and understand the risk in those processes which are there and see whether the controls are effective or ineffective. Now, there is a bit of a difference between IFC and stat audit. Please understand, right? There's a difference between two. But what you do in internal audit is from the process perspective, you understand everything. Second, you will also understand the non-financial processes. Non-financial processes मतलब क्या? जहाँ पे financial impact direct नहीं है, but still you will try to understand it out. जैसे कि, what is the policy of a company for work from home? Do every employee was offered a work from home policy during the COVID? Again, non-financial policy, but I'm just seeing it out so that anything, if it arises on the future date, we will know how to cater for it. Now, I don't know how many of you have done this or have worked it in your journey, right? आपने किया है कि नहीं किया? I don't know it out. But since you're here, I'll be happy to show to you how does a typical internal audit documents and the processes works like. ठीक है, एक internal audit हम लोग process या process document और whether I'll be saying internal audit report कैसे बनाते हैं? Because stat audit report आपने काफी लोगों ने देखी होगी, but internal audit very few of them have worked into and might not have seen. Okay. So let me just show it to you that how does it works. So say for example, this is an internal audit report. जिन्होंने किया होगा उसको ये तीन कलर याद आ रहे हैं, जीवन के तीन रंग जिन्होंने की है, can give the smile, high, moderate and low. High being, so again you define, how do you define a high? So this is defined based on 10% of a turnover, moderate is 5 to 10% and low is again other than that, take a less than 5. Then further that is done, you map all this processes. What are the issues you have identified? How do you map those issues? And you map the risk rating. What is the risk rating for the same? Once this is done, you draft your observation key. We found out, and as on 1st for 2022, on physical verification of 7 assets were not found where they were mentioned in a fixed asset register amounting to 7 crores. We went to management and asked for explanation. Management told us that management has explained that a fixed asset bearing ID 359 forward disclosed of. Now, what do? You gain map potential misappropriation of fixed assets. Just forget it out. And then you give a recommendation. So this is how the typical internal audit report works. Now you compare this with the stat audit. So Divya ji, what you used to do in a stat audit? You directly give an opinion, right? आप opinion दे दिए, खत्म. Internal audit में आप opinion नहीं दे रहे हो. आप क्या बता रहे हो कि भाई ये चीज है, this is what a problem is, and then you are also giving a recommendation. You also put a management explanation. स्टार्ट ऑडिट में अगर कोई दिक्कत है आप सीधा लिख के खत्म कर देते हो. ऑफ कोर्स द की ऑडिट मैटर्स एंड ऑल द स्टफ्स आर देयर, but you don't give a recommendation to a company. Internal audit mein one process is there, what is there, and that is what you do is try to add a value to a client by giving a recommendation. Okay. What is not there in a start audit? What is there in internal audit? I hope bit of a difference is clear. Internal audit is more about a process understanding, finding out the deficiencies in those processes and mapping those out. Okay, that is what an internal audit is. If you want to define it out, three simple words: risk, process, risk, control. तीन आसान शब्द याद रखिएगा. इन मेनी ऑफ टाइम्स यू विल गेट इट आउट इन अ प्री स्क्रीनिंग कॉल. इंटरव्यूअर पूछेगा, अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, व्हाई डू यू थिंक internal auditor should be hired, or what is internal audit according to you, right? Then you should be able to say it out, right? According to me, internal audit talks about three major things: what is the process, what are risk involved in the process, and what are the controls that are involved, right? Now when you go for any of the interviews, Anuja ji or Atishay ji, there are few important processes which is going to be expected from you when you're going to be sitting for an interview. The first most important process is P2P. P2P को कहते हैं procure to pay, which is a pure purchase process, right? इसमें भी सब questions will be there. Those who have done an articleship into an internal audit would have been able to recall it, but if you're not able to recall it, it's not a problem. But you should note this out when you're targeting some good companies, because this is something which is expected. This is bare minimum, right? ये bare minimum है अगर आप internal audit में जाना चाहते हो तो. Again, P2P further divided into a lot of steps, which is there. They'll ask you what is the difference between PR and PO. I don't know how many of you are aware of. PR is purchase requisition, PO is purchase order. अब पूछेंगे which is issued first. क्या PR पहले आएगा या PO पहले आएगा? Can you let me know in the chat box which comes first, PR or PO? Right. कोई कह रहा है PR पहले आएगा. PR नहीं नालायक, purchase requisition. हाँ, yes, the correct answer is purchase requisition. Now, again, they might ask you some question related to how do you select a quotation, interview question, right? This is pure a purchase process, right? How do you define a correct quotation, or which is a correct quotation according to you? So ये सब purchase process के related है. They'll ask you what is three-way match. All these are interview questions which I'm telling you out, right? Then you say invoice, PO, GRN mapping is three-way match. Okay. So they'll ask you then what is a deficiency we have encountered when you are doing a three-way match testing in your article. Okay. Because they will relate every second question or third question relating to your interview to your articleship journey. Please understand this. Now, understand, put it out in your head very clearly. Whatever you have written it in your one page, what is that? CV. Whatever you have written out in your journey for 3 years in one page, or whatever you have prepared it out in resume, they want to check whether it is correct or not. That can be only tested by asking your right technical questions, which is there. Okay. So they will be expecting some good knowledge from you when you're going into this. Other processes are hire to retire, order to cash, fixed assets, cash in bank, inventory, FSCPs, financial statement closure procedures. This is again a book closure procedure. FSCP कहते हैं financial statement book closure procedures. So this is what a typical internal audit is. Now, the advanced version of internal audit is a forensic audit. Now, whenever you hear the word forensics, the forensics is related to the fraud. Right? So whenever you hear the word forensics, the one thing should come to your mind is fraud. देखा होगा CID में कुछ तो गड़बड़ है दया, कुछ तो गड़बड़ है दया. Right? हाँ. So that is what a forensic is. Now please understand, what does forensic auditor do? Forensic auditor is purely responsible for identifying the frauds related to the things which are there. Let me give you one very interesting example. There was a company, right? Let's take a company name called as Reliance. Okay, Reliance was preparing one of the software. एक Reliance एक ऐसा software बना रहा था through which they can conduct or people can conduct the online Zoom meeting. एक online meeting conduct करने के लिए एक software बना रहा था. Already they have made it out. But what happened during this process? During this process, what happened when they were preparing or making the software? Some of the employee of organization leaked this information to the competitors. They gave the design and the prototype and the blueprints of those products to the competitors. Okay. Because of which competitor made a better product as compared to Reliance. हो सकता है? Do you think this is a possible scenario which can happen? हाँ जी सर, हो सकता है, बिल्कुल हो सकता है, क्यों नहीं हो सकता? Now what happened? Because of this, competitor made a better product. Reliance thought of how come the competitor have made a better product? ये कैसे हुआ कि competitor ने हमसे अच्छा product बना लिया? What they did, they hired you. किसको हायर किया? आपको हायर किया. Who are you? You are a forensic auditor. What is your role? Your role is to do a forensic audit. Your role is to find out a fraud. Now, the fraud can be related to numbers, the fraud can be related to IT, fraud can be related to technology, anything. But what is your role here is you have to identify those fraud or person who have done this fraud. Now, what is the beauty of a forensic auditor? इंटरनल ऑडिट में आप क्लाइंट प्लेस जाओगे, स्टैट ऑडिट में आप क्लाइंट प्लेस जाओगे, फॉरेंसिक ऑडिट में यू विल नॉट गो टू अ क्लाइंट प्लेस बिकॉज एवरी डेटा विल कम टू यू इन योर ऑफिस. एक ड्राइव दे देंगे, इसमें सब कुछ है कंपनी का, ढूंढ के दिखाओ कौन ने फ्रॉड किया. नाउ यू हैव टू थिंक, आर यू एबल टू थिंक अब मैं कैसे ढूंढूंगा ये फ्रॉड को? इफ यू आर एबल टू बिल्ड आउट द आंसर, आपके दिमाग में आ रहा है कि सबसे पहले मैं उसके ईमेल्स चेक करूंगा सबके और ढूंढूंगा कि ये डेटा कुछ शेयर हुआ है क्या. राइट नाउ पीपल आर आल्सो स्मार्ट, दे विल नॉट यूज अ कंपनी मेल टू डू दैट. अब क्या कर सकते हैं? तो यू हैव टू अगेन पुट योर हेड एंड थिंक ऑफ इट, व्हाट ऑल थिंग्स आर देयर. देन यू विल आस्क कि चलो देखते हैं whose performance is not that great in a company, और द परफॉर्मेंस अप्रेजल में किसको परफॉर्मेंस ज्यादा अच्छा नहीं दिया था, रिव्यू रेटिंग किसका खराब था, हु इज नॉट डूइंग अ ग्रेट वर्क इन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. तो दिस इज हाउ यू आर गोना बी स्टार्ट थिंकिंग एंड बिल्डिंग इट आउट. राइट, तो ये सब चीजें आपको देखना पड़ेगा when you're doing a forensics. Of course, I have created one very great case study out on a forensics, which I'll just release it in few days. But this is how the forensic auditor thinks. There are a lot of frauds which are there, जैसे कि intercompany purchases which are happening in, तो बीच में चोरी कर लेते हैं. CSR में बहुत frauds होते हैं, right? So this type of frauds which are there, you are going to be hired when and when this type of things comes into a picture. Right? So this is what a forensic is. Now, forensic may again further types of forensics which is there. Pure IT forensics हो सकता है, right? We are mostly involved when the number crunching are is there. Got it. So I hope there is a clarity on three domains: stat audit, internal audit, and forensics. तीन domain का थोड़ा बहुत knowledge आ गया आपको, right? If yes, you can just write yes in the chat box. थोड़ा बहुत knowledge आ गया है. अरे समझ में आ रहा है. I hope you guys are enjoying the session. If you're enjoying, you can also write enjoy in the chat box. We'll be happy to see it out. I'll feel some motivated. My new year will get good. Right? I think this is the last live session before a new year because tomorrow you will go for party करनी है. Party करनी है, right? Party करेंगे, है ना? कल तो यही करोगे, right? ये हमारी गाड़ी है. ये क्या बोलती है वो? ये हमारी कार, वो भूल गया है. क्या कुछ तो बोलती है वो लड़की, है ना? So tomorrow you guys will be enjoying, right? It's just that. चलो, but that's great. Okay, ऑफिस है. ऑफिस है 31 तारीख को. ऑफिस कौन लेता है? शे. ठीक है, चलो कोई बात नहीं. थैंक शिवम कुमार कह रहा है ग्रेट सेशन, ग्रेट सेशन. थैंक यू शिवम. चलो ग्रेट, लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड. द नेक्स्ट वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग डोमेन इज द फाइनेंशियल ड्यू डिलिजेंस. नाउ स्टार्ट ऑडिट का एडवांस वर्जन इज एफडीडी. इंटरनल ऑडिट का एडवांस वर्जन इज forensics, right? Start audit, FDD, internal forensics, right? If you want to get into forensics, your CV should have a good, strong exposure of internal audit. Then only, or most of the cases, then only your CVs are shortlisted, right? Exceptions can be there, but yes, that is what I'm trying to say. So internal forensics, stat audit, and FDD. Now, what is FDD? Financial due diligence. In short, आसान भाषा में समझाऊं तो financial due diligence is checking the financial health of a company before the investments come into company. कोई भी इन्वेस्टर्स किसी भी कंपनी में पैसा लगाने से पहले दे वांटेड टू नो दैट कंपनी इन अ बेटर मैनर, राइट? एंड दिस इज गोना बी डन ओनली व्हेन द ड्यू डिलिजेंस विल हैपन. तो बच्चा कह रहा है सर स्टैट ऑडिट रिपोर्ट से भी तो पता पड़ेगा. स्टैट ऑडिट रिपोर्ट विल नॉट डू दैट. नो, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, देयर इज नो फॉर्मल रिक्वायरमेंट फॉर एन कंपनी और इन्वेस्टर टू गेट ड्यू डिलिजेंस डन बिफोर द इन्वेस्टमेंट इज मेड. आपने अगर एफडीडी का, आपका एक चैप्टर है शायद सीए फाइनल में, है या नहीं है मुझे नहीं पता, बट आई थिंक इट्स देयर, राइट? देयर इज अ चैप्टर ऑन ड्यू डिलिजेंस. वहां पे आपने कोई रिक्वायरमेंट पढ़ी थी कि इतना लिमिट होगा टर्नओवर का तो ही ड्यू डिलिजेंस होगा? नहीं था सर, कुछ नहीं था. मेरा मन मेरे को कराना है, आज करा लो, कोई बात नहीं. देयर इज नो सच रिक्वायरमेंट. नाउ व्हाट एफडीडी गिव्स इज very detailed understanding of the entity or a business before anything happens. Now, one more thing, right? I'll just share my screen. I'll just try to show it to you one of the due diligence report of a company. This is a company called as Baiju. Baiju का due diligence report दिखाता हूँ, where KPMG was an auditor. ठीक है? Now, how the due diligence report is showing and the things in a very different manner. सबसे पहले आप चीज देखो, एक ऑडिट जो होता है, a start audit is gonna be done for a year, but FDD is gonna be done for minimum 3 to 5 years. 3 से 5 साल का हमको एक ड्यू डिलिजेंस एनालिसिस करना पड़ता है, दैट इज देयर. सेकंड, इफ यू कुड सी इट आउट, it is going to be giving an information to investor in such a way that investor can understand the business end to end. हर वो चीज इन्वेस्टर समझ पाएगा. जैसे कि इफ इन्वेस्टर्स वांटेड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज कैक, आई होप यू नो व्हाट इज कैक. कैक का फुल फॉर्म पता है आप किसी को? कैक का फुल फॉर्म होता है कस्टमर एक्विजिशन कॉस्ट. तो इफ इन्वेस्टर्स वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द कैक ऑफ अ बाइजू, it is there in a due diligence report. But do you think the CAC information is there in the stat audit report? अरे कस्टमर एक्विजिशन कॉस्ट की डिटेल्स होती है क्या स्टार्ट ऑडिट में? नहीं होती भाई. बट इट्स देयर इन द ड्यू डिलिजेंस रिपोर्ट, राइट? तो आई कम टू नो दैट, ओ एक बच्चे को बाइजू को अगर प्रोडक्ट बेचना है तो वो 3,000 का मार्केटिंग करेगा. अच्छा, दिस इज अ कस्टमर एक्विजिशन कॉस्ट, राइट? So additional informations are there, right? Second, you will get to see a lot of KPIs. What is KPIs? Key performance indicators, right? ये सब KPIs आपको दिए रहेंगे. जैसे कि सी दिस इज अ KPI. अब इन्होंने KPI क्या बताया? What is a KPI they've shown? In each quarter, a one salesman can sell a product to a 15 students. मतलब 3 महीने में एक सेल्समैन 15 प्रोडक्ट बेच सकता है. ये उनका KPI है. क्या ये स्टार्ट ऑडिट रिपोर्ट पे मिलता है? अरे बताएं, कैन यू सी दिस थिंग्स इन अ स्टार्ट ऑडिट रिपोर्ट? मिलता होगा ना? नहीं मिलता है स्टार्ट ऑडिट में? नहीं मिलता है. हाँ. So this all things are not there in a start audit report, which is there in the due diligence. Right? That is one. But why do we do a due diligence? Checking the financial health of a company, where you focus on three major things. 3 important चीजों पे हम focus करते हैं. First is EBITDA. Second is working capital. Third is net debt. 3 मेजर चीजें हम निकालते हैं जब हम FDD करते हैं, right? Which is financial due diligence. Right? 3 मेजर चीजों पे हम focus करते हैं. So that is there. अब इस पे we can have a separate session on each domain which is there. हर एक टॉपिक पे, वट एवर टॉपिक वी आर डिस्कसिंग नाउ, जैसे स्टार्ट ऑडिट मैंने डिस्कस किया, तो स्टार्ट ऑडिट पे मैं 20 से 25 घंटे बोल सकता हूँ, राइट? बिकॉज ऑलरेडी आई हैव वर्कड इनटू दिस, राइट? एंड ऑलरेडी वी हैव प्रिपेयर्ड अ मास्टर क्लास रिलेटेड टू दैट डोमेन. ठीक है. एफडीडी पे आई कैन स्पीक फॉर 20 odd hours कि हाउ डू यू कैलकुलेट एबिटडा, राइट? व्हाट इज एबिटडा, इंटरव्यू में पूछा जाएगा. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, एक चीज ध्यान रखो, व्हेन यू वांट टू गेट इनटू सम गुड प्रोफाइल्स एंड गुड डोमेन्स, you need to be strong in terms of technicals and your CV should be really really strong, right? सुन के तो बड़ा मजा आ रहा है, फॉरेंसिक सही है, मजा आएगा जाके. बट सवाल है क्या आपके सीवी में इंटरनल ऑडिट का कुछ काम है, राइट? सवाल यह है कि आपके सीवीज आर दैट स्ट्रांग सो दैट यू आर एबल टू क्लियर इन इंटरव्यूज. Understand one thing, don't sit and just give and apply into a big four and any of the companies because you find out a vacancies. No, apply when you're prepared. Otherwise क्या होगा? Imagine that sitting for a CA final exam without a preparation, what do you get? You know what happens when you do it out? You get a negative result. So please understand, it's your career, guys. Career choices should not be made via mistakes. आप गलती नहीं कर सकते. आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि यार गलती से मैंने इस प्रोफाइल में स्टार्ट कर लिया, अब नाउ यू फेस अ प्रॉब्लम टू चूज योर. नाउ वॉट एवर यू हैव डन इट आउट, लेट्स बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट हियर. अभी तक के आपने जो किया है, इट्स बिकॉज ऑफ सम फोर्स और बिकॉज ऑफ सम wrong decisions or choices which are there. But now, whatever choices you're going to be taking for your career, it should be something or somewhere where you'd be happy in a journey. ऐसा नहीं फील होना चाहिए यार, शे यार कहाँ फंस गया यार, ये बड़ा रिग्रेट हो रहा है. ऐसा नहीं करना है. एक ऐसा चॉइस लो, ऐसा डोमेन लो जिसमें आपको इंटरेस्ट है, एंड देन यू बिल्ड योर करियर देयर. आप गेटिंग इट, राइट? अगर आपको नंबर्स पसंद है, नंबर क्रंचिंग पसंद है, गो इनटू आईबी. नो वन कैन स्टॉप यू आउट. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज यू नीड टू बी दैट स्ट्रांग इनफ, स्मार्ट इनफ टू गेट इनटू आईबी. अगर आपको पूछते हैं कि भाई बताओ डीसीएफ कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं एक्सेल में, बीटा कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं एक्सेल में, आपको बोलते हैं नहीं आता सर. नहीं आता तो क्या भाई, सीखो ना भाई. व्हेन यूर हियर, right? When you're sitting in the companies for JP Morgan or D Shaw or good companies which offers a good packages, that requires a preparations. Again, I'm telling you, right? आप सोचोगे कि एकदम से मेरा हो जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं होता. It requires preparation, it requires efforts, right? So now, henceforth, you have to see what all things I need to do it out so that I am good enough and smart enough to upskill myself for my journey out. Okay, that was a friendly and mentor advice which I'm trying to give it to you. Okay, okay. That is our due diligence, right? Again, we'll have a separate detailed discussion on due diligence. If you're really interested to know what due diligence is, every topic page, there's a playlist which is created on my YouTube. 1 or 2 videos are there, and we have a separate master classes on each and every topic. So you just visit my website, you'll find it out. तो एफडीडी क्या होता है, क्यों करा जाता है, उस पे 1 hour ऑफ अ सेशन इज ऑलरेडी अपलोडेड ऑन माय यूट्यूब चैनल. यू कैन जस्ट स्क्रॉल इट आउट एंड चेक इट. इट विल हेल्प यू टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट इन अ बेटर मैनर. Now moving to a taxation domain. Taxation domain is again further divided into multiple roles and domains, which is direct tax and indirect tax. Hired with multiple roles and domains. I think that is something we have just discussed in the previous session, where you must be hired for a GMS services. The client is based outside India. You're sitting in India and doing and consulting work for the client outside India. It can be a client on NRI side, or it can be an expats, right? उसके लिए आप कर रहे हो, so that is there. Second, FS tax. FS tax is again leading to multiple parts like mutual funds, NBFCs, banking companies. That is something you're catering to. M&A tax, right? When there's a merger between two companies, you're going to be responsible for the same. But again, interview toughness is going to be a bit higher when you wanted to get into M&A tax or due diligence and forensics. थोड़ा सा tough रहता है because they are looking for a candidate who had a great exposure of your journey. Now, understand one thing, even if you have done a dummy articleship or even if your articleship is not that great, rule ध्यान में रखने का जीवन में, things can be learned. Things can be learned. चीजें सीखी जा सकती है, रोने का नहीं, right? So don't cry it out. Things can be learned. You can change your journey out. That is taken care of. Then you have corporate and international tax and transfer pricing and international tax. That is there. Then you can also start your journey with IDD domain, right? For the three types of works which are going to be there: GST, customs, and FTP. What is important is to know the split between the three major parts, which is compliances, advisory, and litigation. Whenever you're going to be joining any of the company or any of the big fours, you have to see what portion of compliances, advisory, and litigation you are going to be working into, right? If possible, try to focus on those organizations where you get more on working towards the advisory and litigation instead of compliance. Because नहीं तो बैठ के सिर्फ जीएसटी रिटर्न और इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न ही फाइल करते रह जाओगे, राइट? विच यू हैव डन इनफ इन आवर आर्टिकलशिप. बहुत चलाया विनमैन और टैक्समैन, क्या तो भी चलाए होगे ना? विनमैन होगा, राइट? सॉफ्टवेयर एंड ऑल द सॉफ्टवेयर यू मस्ट हैव यूज्ड ड्यूरिंग आर्टिकल, बहुत चलाया. बट एक्चुअल फन एंड मनी लाइज इन द लिटिगेशन एंड एडवाइजरी गाइस. आप समझ रहे हो? असली पैसा एडवाइजरी और लिटिगेशन में है. कंप्लायंस में एक हद तक पैसा है, right? So if you're really interested, try to move it out here into the sectors of advisory and this. Next is a subsidy domain. जैसे कि very small example, say for example, Mercedes-Benz wants to invest or set up a plant in India. Now the question is which state they could set up a plant for. किस state में plant setup करना चाहिए? No one knows. Who can help you out? You can help you out. Who are you? You are a chartered accountant, Pranjal ji. आप chartered accountant हो, and you can you're the someone who can guide the company out. This is again a very niche profile, but hirings have started happening into this domains where a lot of my previous batch students have gone into this domains, which is a subsidy side. Every big four have the domain of a subsidy these days, right? So if you like more of a consulting of a taxation, subsidy is again a good part to go and start your career into, right? So you have to read a state policies. What is a Maharashtra state policy? What is a state policies of MP? What is the state policy of Chhattisgarh? What is the state policy of Karnataka? So you have to read that policies out. Then you have to see which policies support which government. Then you have to again interact with governments on behalf of a client saying that the Mercedes-Benz is ready to invest 3,000 crores in India. Right? It would be great if you could just build out some policies related to that in a Maharashtra, which is related to the give back of a subsidy. So that is there. Next, very important, a lot of big fours also have a valuation departments, which is there. But again, getting here is a bit tougher because your exposure and your journey and your interview is going to be tough. But yes, many of them also get here. The valuation is one of, again, a department you can try it out where you are going to be responsible for valuation of assets or transactions or goodwill, depending on a company to company and case to case. Now, how does it goes? Please understand, right? ये entire chain is linked to your investment banking funnel, right? When anyone is interested to invest, before investment, we'll have a due diligence. Due diligence hoga based on DD report. We'll value a company. Once the valuation is done, investors is going to be investing into a company. ये पूरा एक funnel है. IB का एक पूरा funnel है, which is one of the funnel which is there. And some other services you can be a part of, like SAP consulting nowadays growing to a very large extent, right? Every eighth chartered accountant who is getting clear will place into SAP consulting. मतलब 1/8 of our CAs will get into SAP consulting. What is this? You are helping a clients or companies to set up softwares because every company is growing. Amazon wants to automate its entire accounting process. They don't want human intervention. They cannot ask an accountant to pass accounting entry for all the product sale in other website. So you will be here. Second, you might also get into some of the fundraisings or project finance related work, some certifications, something related to IBCs and incentives and subsidies, which I've written, but already I've covered it up here. So this all places you can be a part of a core services. Now this is what a pure core services of a chartered accountant. एक CA इन core services के लिए जाना जाता है. Right? If you want to have a snapshot of the same, you can also have a snapshot of the same. Right? इसके snapshot लेना है तो ये आप ले सकते हो. Right? This is what a core services is. Done, done, done. समझ गए सर, समझ गए. राइट, हमें सर समझ में आ गई कोर सर्विसेज क्या होती है. Now, once you have understood the core services, now let us also understand what all other works a chartered accountants can do, which is very rarely or very are not aware of by a lot of people out. काफी कम लोग को पता होता है. Now, before I go into that, right, also just a small update for all of you guys. Right, the first update is in upcoming days we have planned a lot of good events for you guys. काफी सारे अच्छे अच्छे events आपके लिए plan किए हैं. Right, so those who have not registered for the same, please do it out. Please register for all the upcoming events so that you don't miss out. There are a lot of pre-placement talks which are going to be coming in upcoming days. So it's there on tools.cmonk.com event page. You can just scroll it down. A lot of events are planned. We have planned a session on ICA campus separately. Pre-kickoff sessions of a GR batch is also there. And pre-placement talk of a Wipro is there. It's a 7th pre-placement talk which you are doing in. Few pre-placement talk, we have done it before the results. Second, a lot of companies will also conduct a version test. You can practice the version test here. If you have not created an account, you can do it. You get 100 coins free of cost. You can practice a version test using this. It will help you to improve your English communication skills. Right. So that is taken care of. You can try it out here. That is there. Also, just also wanted to share the ICI brochure for a campus is out. So we'll tell you out how do you fill out the form and everything in a separate session. So just keeping you updated. Also, a good news, last two campus back to back, ICA campus may the highest package is secured by our GR students, which is Rishi in DIGO with 29 lakhs and Varsha Arora previous campus, which was 60th campus. Your campus is 61st. So both of our GR students are able to secure the highest packages. जैसे होता है ना ऑल इंडिया रैंकर 1 2 3 हमारे निकले, बस वैसे ही मैं बोल रहा हूँ, right? The highest package is secured by our students. Now, also the people those who are very serious and wanted a help regarding our interview training and placements. जैसे अभी मैंने आपको नौकरी चलाना सिखाया in 5 minutes. नौकरी सेशन आई टेक इट फॉर 2 hours, लिंक्डइन सेशन आई टेक इट फॉर 8 hours. 8 घंटा आपको लिंक्डइन चलाना और 2 घंटा नौकरी चलाना सिखाता हूँ. Right, this is not only the thing, we teach you everything needed to get into the best companies of our world in our Getting Interview Ready batch. We have completed 69 batches. We have an alumni base of 13,000 plus chartered accountants. You name a company, we have student in that company. आप जो company सोच सकते हो वहाँ पे हमारे student हैं. Our alumni base is very strong, right? If you are serious and if you are really interested, दो thing, serious हो और interested हो and want to upscale your career and change it out. And if you want to leave all your interview preparations to us, leave it to us, including technicals, we will take care of it. Right, because in this batch you will also get a domain specific masterclass. जैसे अभी किसी को होगा कि नहीं सिर्फ मुझे स्टैट ऑडिट पढ़ना है, you can just go for a stat audit masterclass also. But the problem here is यहाँ पे सिर्फ technical है. Here you will not get a peer group. Here you will not get a interview guidance. In this workshop, everything is included here, including a technical masterclass. So you get one masterclass free of cost. You get additional coins for tools. You get a one-on-one mock interview, which is there. Right, which is also there in our website. You get a one-on-one mentorship and counseling session with any of our mentors. So everything needed to get into best companies of the world is covered here in our Getting Interview Ready workshop. Starting from 3rd January, timing is morning. Recording is also there, but interview preparation cannot be done on a recorded mode. It is supposed to be done in a live mode. The language of a batch will be pure English. So because you need to give your interviews in English. If you want to know more about a batch, what is going to be happening, don't worry. We have a separate event on this, which is on 2nd of January. ठीक है, तो क्या होगा कैसे होगा सब कुछ बताया जाएगा on 2nd of January. Very detailed event, क्या curriculum है सब कुछ बताया जाएगा. But if you are serious and interested, do register for the same because seats are limited. Once the batch gets full, you will only have a choice to register for 71st batch, which is starting from 6th. Okay, so that is there about a GR batch. Now moving to the yes, someone is saying we already registered. Bang on, happy to see you out and meet you out, which is there. The batch is live, right? 100% live. बोलने के लिए 12 दिन का बैच है, but after the batch we'll have a lot of sessions, doubt solving sessions, ICA campus sessions, right? तो काफी सारे sessions आपके लिए होंगे, which is going to be taken care of. Great, I think a lot of people have registered. Those who are not registered can think of it and can register for the same. Okay. Yes, sir. Now moving to the next very interesting domain, and that is Yes, one-on-one session is also there, Yogesh, in the batch, so no need to worry about it, right? In short, leave all your interview stress and worries to me. जो भी आपका इंटरव्यू का दुख दर्द पीड़ा है, टेंशन है, वो मेरे पे छोड़ दो, राइट? तो दैट इज व्हाट इट इज. अभी मेरे बाल सफेद नहीं है, नहीं तो मैं बोल देता ऐसे ही मेरे बाल सफेद नहीं हुए, राइट? एक अच्छा सा डायलॉग मार देता, बट आई कैन से इट आउट. You have placed more than 13,500 CEOs in a company you can think of, right? And we have a very good statistics. मतलब ICA कैंपस में हाईएस्ट पैकेजेस हमारे स्टूडेंट्स ही ले रहे हैं. So that is what you can imagine for. ठीक है. Yes. चलो. So let's move forward to the next discussion about domain, which is a management consulting. What is management consulting? Defined in three simple words. तीन आसान शब्दों में कहा जाता है, which is there, and that is problem solving for top management at a faster speed. What is management consulting? कंसल्टिंग में आप क्या करते हो, राइट? कंसल्टिंग में यू सॉल्व अ प्रॉब्लम. किसके लिए? टॉप मैनेजमेंट के लिए. टॉप मैनेजमेंट मीन सीएफओ, सीईओ, सीटीओ, इन सब लोगों के लिए यू सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम्स. And this problem need to be solved at a faster speed. Now, I don't know how many of you have participated in our Sunday session where we had a case study discussion on Campa-Cola. What is the problem statement faced by Coca-Cola? Coca-Cola is worried of कि Campa-Cola, which is a product launched by Jio or Reliance, कि whether I'll be able to sustain myself in a market or not. Who is facing this? Coca-Cola. Who will solve this? Top management. Now, since top management is not able to solve, what they'll do? They'll hire you. Who are you? You are a management consultant. Now, what does consulting does? Consulting helps to solve a problem in faster speed. I can give a lot of examples. Do you remember 10 years ago when Geo came into a picture, a lot of company got wiped out of a market? Yes, sir. Aircel, Tata Docomo, Uninor. याद करो, आपने यूनिनॉर का नाइट पैक डलवाया था उससे बात करने के लिए. याद आ रहा है हर्ष जैन? तो उससे बात करता था नाइट पैक डलवा के. नहीं, एयरसेल की सीम पे कह रहा है, ठीक है, राइट? तो ऑल दोस कंपनीज हैव गॉट वाइप्ड आउट. यू नो व्हाई? बिकॉज दे वर नॉट एबल टू सॉल्व अ प्रॉब्लम. There are problems happening to our companies every second day. In fact, Geo is facing a problem. Do you know that? Elon Musk is launching its own network, Starlink. पता है कि नहीं पता है? Problems are there. Who need to solve it? The companies have to solve it. How? Faster speed. Who will help you? You will help you. You are, आप कौन हो? You are a management consultant. Right? So this is again an exceptional domain, a growing domain, because every company is facing a problem and every company need the people who are experts into this domain who can solve this problem. Right? So that is there. इसमें top companies are called as MBBs. MBBs is McKinsey, Bain, and BCG. Right? These are the top consulting firms, which is there. If you again want to have a detailed session, just check it on my YouTube channel. There is a separate 1 hour session uploaded on management consulting as well. Okay, anyways, if you come to GR batch, you will have a very detailed session for 3 to 4 hours on every domain, and then you'll have a mentor session, then you'll have a one-on-one counseling and a master class. So 20 से 22 घंटे का आपका सेशन होगा every domain का, so that you become expert on that. Next is a finance domain, very interesting and again a growing domain where many of you will be joining a organization. This is something which I call as the industry side. Now, before I go into a finance, different designations will be offered to you as a finance controller. They'll say you a finance controller, or they might say you as a management trainee. What is a management trainee? We'll hire you for one role, and we will be expecting you to become a CFO of a company within few years. But we will rotate you across multiple business verticals. नहीं समझा सर? मतलब आपको हायर करेंगे और आपको मल्टीपल वर्टिकल्स में रोटेट करेंगे. जैसे कि first year you'll be working with FP&A, second year you'll be working with internal audit, third year you'll be working with treasury, fourth year you'll be working with accounts receivable, so that we can see you as a CFO company. That is what a management trainee is. Okay, so a lot of vacancies are also there in a management trainee roles. You can also target that out. That is there. And parallelly, right, once you go into a finance domain, there are multiple horizons or verticals which are available. जैसे कि just let me just see it out. यहाँ पे है क्या? So this all program I just tell you at management training and CFO program, right? So this all roles are available when you go to a finance role. Finance में ये सब roles available होते हैं, जैसे कि accounts payable, accounts receivable, GL and MIS, treasury, taxation, business finance, FP&A. This all roles will be offered to you when you go into an industry side. Industry side मतलब finance side जाते हो तो, right? So this all roles are available. जैसे कि Reliance will have a account receivable team and a revenue team separately who's going to be taking care of a revenue of a Reliance. Got it, sir. Right? What does MIS and GL team? This team will take care of preparation of financial statements of a Reliance and India's compliance and audit closure. ये team का काम ये होता है. AP team will take care of accounts payable and the inventory which is there. So you'll see that this type of vacancies in the market saying that we are hiring for a controller role, we are hiring for XYZ role. So you have to read the JD and you have to prepare accordingly for that role respectively. So that is what you have to do. Now, one very interesting role is financial planning and analysis, which is called as FP&A. You'll heard this role multiple times in the market. FP&A की hiring है, FP&A की hiring है. What does FP&A means? Name itself suggests the meaning. Financially, you plan the things and analyze the things. Let me explain you out. Say for example, Amazon plans to launch their own phone. Amazon ने बोला अब से हम अपने फोन बनाएंगे. Okay, and they've decided to keep the name of a phone as a Monk phone. हंसे नहीं. बहुत प्रेरित थे सीएमओंग से तो उन्होंने नाम रखा फोन का मॉन्क फोन. राइट, है ना, उसके आगे कोई शब्द नहीं जोड़ेंगे, बस मॉन्क फोन रखा है. ठीक है, तो दे हैव केप्ट द नेम ऑफ अ फोन एज मॉन्क फोन. नाउ दे हैव प्रोजेक्टेड इट आउट कि वी विल सेल 10,000 फोन इन अ ईयर. हम 10,000 फोन बेच लेंगे साल में. व्हाट इज दिस? प्लानिंग. वी आर प्लानिंग द थिंग्स आउट. But actually, they were able to sell only 6,000 phones. What is this? Actuals, which is going to be recorded in our books of accounts. Right? Actual books of accounts में record हो गए ऐसे sales. Right? प्लान कितने किए थे? 10,000 बिकेंगे. एक्चुअल में कितने बिके? 6,000. What is the delta? 4,000. What is the delta? 4,000. Who will do and why there's a delta? You have to analyze this. यार 10,000 सोचा था, 6,000 क्यों बिके? यार अनुष्का शर्मा को हायर किया था एज एक्ट्रेस, मार्केटिंग नहीं की उसने अच्छे से. राइट, या डिलीवरी इश्यूज थे, या 3,000 फोन रिफंड आ गए, रिटर्न आ गए. व्हाट यू डू? यू प्लान द थिंग्स, you strategize the things. How we will sell 10,000 phones? How we will ensure that the product market is rich, right? And then you analyze with the actual number. That is what FP&A is. In short, financially plan and then analyze. Financially plan and then analyze. That is what an FP&A is. Okay. So this all roles are available when you go into a finance role. Accounts reporting, further divided into accounts receivable, accounts payable, GL and MS. Also, you will hear this role as a controllership role. So controllership बोलेंगे, right? If anyone says you're Komanji, we are hiring you for a controllership role, ask them. I mean, controllership, what is the sub role which is going to be offered? Is it account payable, account receivable, GL or MIS? पूछ लेना. Otherwise, they'll plot you anywhere. Okay. Next, one of the role you'll hear it out hired by a lot of companies, right? Genpact बहुत ज्यादा hire करता है and काफी सारी companies इसके लिए hire करती है, which is called as R2R role. R2R का मतलब होता है record to report. मतलब क्या होता है? You're responsible for taking care of recording of a transaction till the reporting of a transaction. मतलब एक अकाउंटिंग एंट्री पास करने से एमआईएस रिपोर्ट बनने तक का आपकी जिम्मेदारी है. मतलब क्या? अमेजोन ने कुछ सेल किया, उसकी रिकॉर्डिंग करना, रिपोर्टिंग करना, देखना सब कुछ सही से हुआ है कि नहीं, और फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्ट या मंथली एमआईएस रिपोर्ट जो बनता है उसमें आपको दिखाना होता है. तो दैट इज व्हाट इज योर एमआईएस रोल. राइट, तो दिस इज व्हाट इज देयर इन R2R रोल प्रोफाइल. ठीक है सर, समझ में आ गया. इसके साथ साथ, राइट, आई नो द सेशन माइट बी गेटिंग हेवियर फॉर फ्यू ऑफ यू. राइट, आई होप फ्यू ऑफ यू आर कंफर्टेबल, है ना. कुछ लोग बेचारे टेंशन में आ गए, एक दो जन तो बेचारे झंडू बाम लगा रहे हैं. एक बाम तीन काम, लगा लो बेटा लगा लो. राइट, हाँ, आई नो इट्स बिट हेवियर. यू शुड नो दिस आउट बिफोर यू गो टू मार्केट, राइट. I know it's a power pack session, but yes, the session is for you guys so that you can have it out and understand. क्या मस्त सेशन चल रहा है. वेरी वेरी गुड. अनुज जी कह रहा है मस्त सेशन चल रहा है. वेरी गुड. चलो ग्रेट. ओके, बाकी लोग जो भी कनेक्टेड है, यू कैन हैव योर डाउट्स, यू कैन पुट योर डाउट्स पैरेलली इन द चैट, राइट. डेफिनेटली विल बी हैप्पी टू कवर इट. कोई नालायक कह रहा है आई एम प्लानिंग टू प्रिपेयर फॉर अ कैट फॉर 2025. अरे बेटा, ये कैट का सेशन थोड़ी है मेरे राजा. राइट, बिल्कुल आप करिए. राइट, कैट वैट के लिए तैयारी करिए. आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड इट आउट, यू आर एक्साइटेड टू बिकम एन एमबीए, बट ये तो डोमेन वाइज गाइडेंस सेशन है. एमबीए का सेशन ऑलरेडी एक डाला हुआ है, वो आप जाके देख सकते हो. राइट, तो दैट इज देयर ऑन माय यूट्यूब, यू कैन जस्ट सर्च इट आउट. थोड़ा सा स्क्रॉल करोगे, आपको काफी सारे अच्छे सेशन मिलेंगे. Right. Yes, we will share this document in this discussion group. So don't worry. Right. Which is there. Right. हाँ, अब कुछ लोगों को कंफ्यूज होगा कहाँ से स्टार्ट करें. डोंट वरी, यू स्टार्ट यूजिंग एन एलिमिनेशन मेथड. क्या नहीं करना है पहले वो सोचे. राइट, कि आप देखिए कि नहीं यार मुझे है ना टैक्स में नहीं जाना है या मुझे ऑडिट में नहीं जाना है. राइट, दे यू स्टार्ट एलिमिनेशन मेथड. दैट इज द सिंपलेस्ट मेथड विच इज देयर. ठीक है, वो आप यूज कर सकते हो. चलते हैं नेक्स्ट में बैंकिंग एंड एनबीएफसीज. नाउ डेज लॉट ऑफ हायरिंग्स आर गोइंग इन बैंकिंग एंड एनबीएफसीज. काफी सारी बैंक्स हायर कर रही हैं. राइट, यू विल फाइंड आउट मल्टीपल वैकेंसीज फॉर क्रेडिट मैनेजर, रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर, ट्रेजरी रोल. लॉट ऑफ बैंक्स हायर्स चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स दिस डेज. रीजन बीइंग, Please understand, you understand financials, you understand number, you are the one who can understand and read the companies in and out, right? So you will be responsible for, again, multiple times. A relationship manager is responsible to bring a business. Credit manager is responsible to approve that business. राइट, इमेजिन दैट यूर अ क्रेडिट मैनेजर। तो मान लो कंपनी ने एक प्रोजेक्ट लाया जहां पे रिलायंस को मुझे 200 करोड़ रुपए देने हैं। अब आपके पास आएगा वो रिपोर्ट कि यार रिलायंस को 200 करोड़ रुपए के दे कि नहीं दे। Now you are a chartered accountant. You have to analyze this out. You have to read the financial statement. You have to see the projected financial statements. You have to ensure that the collateral is proper. So all those things, who will take care of it? You will take care of it. You are, who are you? You are a credit manager at bank, right? क्योंकि आप धंधा समझ पाते हो, बाकी ये नहीं लोग समझ पाएंगे यार। आप चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट हो, राइट? आप इन एंड आउट्स इंडिया समझ पाते हो, आप फाइनेंशियल समझ पाते हो कंपनीज के। तो दैट इज गोना बी देयर, दैट इज यू विल बी हायर्ड इन अ बैंकिंग एंड एनबीएफसी। तो काफी ज्यादा डिमांड आ रही है बैंकिंग और एनबीएफसी में। क्रेडिट मैनेजर, रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर, ट्रेजरी साइड बहुत हायरिंग होती है बैंकिंग में, आप खुद देखोगे। इन अपकमिंग डेज यू विल गेट अ हेल लॉट ऑफ कॉल फ्रॉम बैंक्स रिलेटेड टू क्रेडिट मैनेजर, ट्रेजरी, रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर। दबा के हायरिंग आती है। यू हैव टू सी इट आउट वेदर यू आर इंटरेस्टेड इनटू दिस। सर रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर क्या करता है? बेटा रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर रिश्ता बनाता है और धंधा लाता है। जैसे कि से फॉर एग्जाम्पल मेरे बैंक में 10 करोड़ रुपए पड़े हैं, नहीं, जस्ट अज्यूम करें, राइट? जस्ट अज्यूम करें, हाँ, राइट? तो अज्यूम करें कि इमेजिन दैट माय बैंक हैव 10 लाख ले लेते हैं, चलो छोटे लोग हैं हम, हाँ। तो 10 लाख रुपए, हाँ 10 लाख है, हाँ। तो इमेजिन दैट माय बैंक हैव 10 लाख रुपीज। नाउ बैंक मैनेजर विल कॉल मी आउट सेइंग दैट सर ये 10 लाख पड़े, एफडी बना दूं? क्या किया रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर ने? धंधा लाया बिजनेस के लिए। जैसे एफडी बनेगा बैंक विल अर्न। कैसे अर्न करेगा? ऑफकोर्स इसको किसी को लोन देगा। तो दैट इज हाउ द बैंक। इन अ सिमिलर वे, से फॉर एग्जांपल इमेजिन दैट आई वांट टू अपस्केल माय वेंचर आउट, थिंक दैट कि चलो मुझे अभी नेक्स्ट एक जीआर बैच लॉन्च करना है जो फेस टू फेस होगी, या मुझे अपना खुद का एक ऑफिस सेटअप करना है, मुझे लोन चाहिए। तो व्हाट रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर विल डू? टेक अ लोन फ्रॉम आईसीआईसी बैंक ओनली, डोंट गो टू एचडीएफसी। दिस इज व्हाट इज गोना बी टेकन केयर बाय रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर। तो आप किस चीज के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल हो? आप धंधा लाने के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल हो, right? You are on the ground. You are going to be interacting with the business. Credit manager is responsible for approving the loan, checking the financial health of a company, and giving a loans. ये काफी ग्रो हो रहा है। एनबीएफसी, इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज, इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग, राइट? ह्यूज हायरिंग्स आर गोइंग ऑन इनटू दिस प्लेसेस। अगेन एवरी वन चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट इज गोना बी प्लेस इन बैंकिंग। मतलब हर 8 में से एक सीए जाएगा ग्लोबल फर्म्स में, हर 8 में से एक सीए जाएगा बैंकिंग में, मतलब 2-8 यहीं पे हो गए, राइट? तो दैट इज व्हाट इट इज। Next, of course, investment banking, very lucrative domain. Many of you want to get into, right? I know investment banking इतने short time में तो मैं cover नहीं कर पाऊंगा, but what I have done is last few days only, right? I think just 1 month before I had a very great session on investment banking, which is there on my YouTube channel. काफी अच्छा एक session मैंने लिया था IB पे, right? So you can just go and scroll my channel out. We take care of everything, guys, which is needed for you to get into the best companies of world. राइट? तो जैसे कि यू कैन जस्ट चेक इट आउट, दिस वाज अ सेशन ऑन स्टार्टअप्स एंड पीएसयू। जिसको जाना है स्टार्टअप्स एंड पीएसयू में, एक कंसल्टिंग का और एक सेशन डला हुआ है विच इज ऑन 1 hour 15 minutes। एआईबी का एक सेशन इज देयर ऑन 1 hour 19 minutes, यू कैन चेक इट आउट विच इज देयर, राइट? तो हर एक चीज का ध्यान रखा गया है। यू कैन जस्ट गो एंड चेक माय यूट्यूब चैनल लाइव प्लेलिस्ट एंड प्लेलिस्ट आप देखिए, यू विल फाइंड आउट लॉट ऑफ गुड सेशंस विच इज देयर। एफडीडी इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग का है, किसी को दुबई जाना है तो उसके लिए है, राइट? एक्सेल का एक प्लेलिस्ट है, कंसल्टिंग का है, स्टोरी टेलिंग का है, एफटीडी का है। इग्नोर माय सॉन्ग प्लेलिस्ट प्लीज। तो बाकी चीजें हैं, फाइनेंस का प्लेलिस्ट है, स्टार्ट ऑडिट का भी होगा, राइट? तो दैट इज आल्सो टेकन केयर ऑफ जस्ट है। So just scroll through my YouTube channel, you'll get a lot of good resources which can help you out to get into the right places, है ना? So that is there. Yes, please throw some lights on IBC, right? IBC पे we will have some discussion at the end of the session, right? Don't worry. Right, MCA can come in this MCA नहीं समझा मैं, just put it out in a better manner. Yes, someone is mentioning if I have multiple attempts and a student who want to get into treasury, is it possible? Yes, treasury is possible, right? They'll ask you a lot of things regarding your profile. They'll ask you knowledge about your working capital. आपको कुछ ratios related question पूछेंगे, right? तो ये सब technical भी टेस्ट किया जाएगा, सीवी भी देखा जाएगा। तो आपको पूछेंगे what all five, tell me 5 ratios which you will check before you are going to be doing an investments into a company. अब आपको पता ही नहीं है और बोले ट्रेजरी में जाना है, अरे भाई काय का ट्रेजरी, तुम्हें इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन नहीं लेते नहीं आ रहे, राइट? अब यहाँ पे थ्योरेटिकल ज्ञान नहीं चलेगा, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, राइट? नाउ डेज कंपनीज हैव स्टार्टेड गिविंग अ केस स्टडी, गाइस, राइट? आपको पूरा सीधा केस स्टडी दे देंगे, बोलेंगे ये लो कंपनी का एक्सेल फाइल और जस्ट डू इट आउट, ठीक है, तो यू हैव टू बी वेरी प्रैक्टिकल व्हेन यू इट कम्स टू दिस। ओके, गॉट इट। राइट, चलो दो तीन डोमेन बचे, बस उसको खत्म करते हैं, देन विल ओपन फॉर डाउट्स व्हिच इज देयर। कोई कह रहा है फ्री में इतना कुछ दे रहे हो तो पेड में और क्या क्या दोगे? बिल्कुल सही सोच रहे हो बेटा, बिल्कुल सही। राइट। हाँ, तो पेड में तो बहुत कुछ चीजें मिलेगी, डोंट वरी अबाउट इट, एवरीथिंग इज नीडेड टू गेट इनटू कंपनीज इज टेकन केयर ऑफ। ठीक है, तो कॉर्पोरेट वाला मैंने बता दिया। स्टार्टअप इज अगेन वन ऑफ द डोमेन वेयर यू कैन स्टार्ट योर करियर इनटू। राइट, स्टार्टअप पे मैंने अभी एक वीडियो दिखाया था, हाउ टू स्टार्ट इनटू करियर इनटू स्टार्टअप इन पीएसयू, उस पे भी एक वीडियो डाला हुआ है। इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड यू कैन चेक द सेम, दैट इज गोना बी हेल्पिंग यू टू अंडरस्टैंड regarding the startups. And you can also go into an offbeat track. Offbeat track matlab some public policies, some PSUs. You can be part of some government organizations. You can be into an art and craft. You can be become a teacher. अगर आप इंटरेस्टेड हो कैसे टीचिंग करना, इस पे भी मैंने सेशन डाला है यूट्यूब पे। राइट, सारे राज डाल दिए हर टीचर के। अरे सच बता रहा हूँ। राइट, तो दैट इज ऑल्सो टेकन केयर ऑफ। या आप सोशल मीडिया इन्फ्लुएंसर बनना चाहते हो तो दैट इज ऑल्सो देयर। राइट, ये मैं नहीं बता सकता कि कितनी लिपस्टिक लगाना चाहिए और ये सब, दैट इज आउट ऑफ माई एक्सपर्टीज। बट यस, यू कैन ऑल्सो बिकम एन इंस्टाग्राम इन्फ्लुएंसर एंड अदर इन्फ्लुएंसर्स। राइट, तो दैट इज टेकन केयर ऑफ। If you want, I can ensure that one of my student can guide you out. I don't know how many of you are aware of Sakshi Jain is again our GR batch student. She is a very good influencer, right? So हमारे students सब जगह है. You name the company, your students working with Beer Biceps, your students working in Puma, your students working in JP Morgan, your students working in Decathlon. Every company can think of, right? Any company, every company can think of. Your students working in Dubai. We have a community base of 130 plus CAs working in Dubai. We had a Dubai meetup where approximately 130 students came in to meet us up. So everything is taken care of, guys. Not to worry. So that is what about your career options. Just to summarize in short, एक बार short में summarize कर देता हूँ so that you don't mess up. आप देखो आपको क्या क्या चाहिए और क्या क्या नहीं चाहिए, पहले वो देखो, है ना। सबसे पहले एक ऑडिटिंग का डोमेन है। ऑडिटिंग फर्दर डिवाइडेड इनटू टू, स्टैट एंड इंटरनल। स्टैट में भी देखना है ग्लोबल फॉर्म, इंडियन फॉर्म, यू हैव टू सी इट आउट। आई एक्सप्लेन यू अबाउट स्टैट ऑडिट। Then you have internal audit and forensics. I explained you what is forensics, what is internal audit. Then you have a due diligence, which is FTD. Then you have taxation, DT, IDT, and subsidy side. You have valuation department and other some services you can offer to this SAP consulting, fundraising, and stuff. Then you have management consulting domain where you solve a problem for top management at a faster speed. You have banking domain and NBFCs domain and insurance company growing at a very faster level and scale. That is there. Investment banking, again, very detailed discussion. We had a separate session on this. So IB में आप देख सकते हो. Right, again further divided into two fund, buy side, sell side. Right, बहुत detailed discussion है, तो अभी मैं इस पे नहीं जाऊंगा. But yes, that is what an IB is. Then you can also think of joining an industry, a pure finance role, a company where you might be offer a controllership profile or R2R profile or management trainee profile, where you can further get into multiple roles, right? Account payable, account receivables, inventory, MIS, treasury, GL, right? FP&A. I told you about what FP&A is. You plan the things and then you analyze the numbers, right? You can also join some startups and PSUs that is there. And you can also do something of track, जैसे कि public policy, arts and crafts, teaching, right? And you can be a social media influencer. So this all career options are available with you as a part of your journey. Now to think, what is something I can start with? What is something I can get into, right? Once you decide it out, what you have to do is build out an expertise for that domain. जैसे कि गुप्ता जी ने बोला कि आज मुझे एफडीडी में जाना है, बट बेटा तुमको इबिडा ही नहीं पता कैसे निकालते हैं, व्हाट इज एडजस्टेड इबिडा। इंटरव्यू पूछेंगे व्हाट इज द रीजन व्हाई वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट एडजस्टेड इबिडा। अब बच्चा बोलेगा ये तो सीए फाइनल में था ही नहीं। हाँ तो बेटा किसी को नहीं था ना, तो ये तो पता होना चाहिए। जाना एफडीडी में तो यू शुड नो द बेसिक्स ऑफ एफडीडी विच इज देयर। ठीक है, तो दैट इज व्हाट इज एक्सपेक्टेड इन इंटरव्यूज, बिकॉज अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग, मानो या ना मानो, द वर्ल्ड इज कॉम्पिटिटिव आउटसाइड, right? I know you're feeling proud and happy. You should be proud about it, your journey that you're a CA. But trust me, guys, real fun of a CA degree is only when you get money. And that is only possible when you get placed into good companies. And to get into good companies, you have to prove that you're the best. And to prove you're the best, you have to clear the interviews. As simple as that. Right? तो जर्नी इतनी आसान नहीं रहेगी जितनी आप सोच रहे हो, राइट? और जर्नी इतनी मुश्किल भी नहीं रहेगी जितनी मैं बता रहा हूँ, ठीक है? बट हाँ, what is important is your preparation will define your success. राइट, सच बता रहा हूँ, है ना। आई नो यू वांट टू एंजॉय योर जर्नी एंड यू आर थिंकिंग दैट के सामने से चल के आएगी एचआर या फोन कॉल, ऐसा नहीं होगा। यू हैव टू अप्लाई, यू हैव टू थिंक, यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर, यू हैव टू शो यू आर द बेस्ट, राइट? तो ये सब चीजें आपको करनी पड़ेगी, राइट? तो दैट इज व्हाट इट इज गाइस। एंड डेफिनेटली अगेन टू थिंग्स, यू कैन डू इट ऑन योर ओन एंड यू कैन टेक माय हेल्प। नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम, राइट? तो हेल्प लोगे तो चीजें इजी हो जाती है। इट्स लाइक टेकिंग सीए फाइनल क्लासेस और डूइंग ऑडिट ऑन। ठीक है, दैट इज व्हाट इट इज। चलो, तो लेट्स टेक द डाउट्स फॉर दिस सेशन। आई नो देयर लॉट ऑफ डाउट्स। We'll take the doubts. I've tried to summarize everything for you in a best possible manner in a given time frame. I know I've extended the session by 15 minutes, but that was for your benefit, which is there. राइट? ऑल्सो द पीपल दोज आर कनेक्टेड ऑन यूट्यूब, यार ऐसे ना करो यार, इतना ज्ञान दे रहे हैं, आप वीडियो को लाइक नहीं कर रहे हो। ऐसे ना करो, ऐसे ना करो। राइट? कोमल कह रही है मैं तो जूम पे हूं फिर भी यूट्यूब पे जाके लाइक करूंगी और सब्सक्राइब करूंगी। वेरी वेरी गुड कोमल जी, वेरी वेरी गुड। राइट, ये हुई बात। यस, अब यूट्यूब पे गए हो तो जस्ट चेक द डिस्क्रिप्शन व्हिच आर देयर, फाइनेंस कम्युनिटी जॉब्स एंड एवरीथिंग इज अपलोडेड देयर। Just check it out so that you don't miss out on important updates. Got it. Chalo, let's take a doubt which is there so that we can just take it out. Just put our doubts in the chat box one by one. So we'll take it out, which is there for 5-10 minutes. Okay. Chalo, let's take the doubts which is there. Sir, in which domain job profile we are more likely to make most of the money? हा। हर्षिता जी ने कहा ये सब फालतू चीजें बता दी। बोली काम की बात बताओ, पैसा कहाँ मिलेगा वहां जाऊंगी। अरे बेटा, पैसे के पीछे भागोगी, राइट? वो है ना एक मूवी में डायलॉग, पैसा के पीछे भागोगी तो, अच्छा तुम तो लड़की हो तो तुम्हारे को वो डायलॉग काम नहीं आएगा, है ना? तुम पैसे के पीछे भागोगी तो लड़की पैसा लेके भागेगी, है ना? तो तुम लड़की हो तो तुमको ये नहीं बोल सकते, बट ठीक है। डोंट रन आफ्टर मनी गाइस, ट्रस्ट मी, यू विल गेट फ्रस्ट्रेटेड समडे। फाइंड आउट अ पैशन, राइट? यू कैन मेक अ पैशन। पैशन में आप जो करोगे उसमें पैसा बनाओगे यार। फिर तो मैं बोलूंगा टीचिंग में आ जाओ, करोड़ों रुपए कमाओगे। मेरे तरफ ना देखे प्लीज, है ना? मेरे तरफ ना देखे, बट हाँ, है ना? अरे मेरे तरफ देख के क्यों हंसते रहे भाई, है ना? तो फिर आप देखो, अब है ना, अब आप बोलो अब आपको क्या करना है। तो अगेन यू हैव टू डू, या एक्टर बन जाओ, राइट? है ना, एक्टर बन जाओ, मस्त पैसा मिलेगा, नहीं क्या? है ना, काफी सारे सीएस हैं जो एक्टर भी है, सच्ची में, बन जाओ। ठीक है, तो पैसे के पीछे भागना है तो फिर तो बात ही खत्म हो गई ना। ठीक है, चलो ग्रेट। तो ऐसे नहीं करते बेटा, है ना? थिंक ऑफ अ डोमेन। Okay. Will this video be there after the session is done? Yes, it's going to be there. Can you please share the document just using the session? Yes, my friend, it is going to be shared in our WhatsApp group. So please join it out. I want to work in 2-3 year in India, then want to switch to UAE. Which domain is a fit? दोस्त UAE का एक सेशन मैंने अलग से लिया है, which is there on my YouTube channel. काफी शानदार सेशन है। Upcoming days में we'll have one more session on how to get a job in Dubai. तो आप फिर से वो अटेंड कर लेना। और one of the best thing which we have done for our GR community students, if anyone decides to go to Dubai, we have an exclusive community group for our Dubai, which is only for a GR student. And once you go there, we'll add you into that group, and a lot of our GR students will only help you to get a job. जैसे पास्ट बैच में 3-4 स्टूडेंट्स गॉट अ जॉब इन दुबई इन 10 days। इंडिया में 10 दिन में जॉब ढूंढना मुश्किल था, दुबई में 10 दिन में जॉब ढूंढ लिए लोगों ने, बिकॉज ऑफ अ कम्युनिटी, राइट? तो वी हैव वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग कम्युनिटी इन दुबई, राइट? तो दैट इज देयर। I'll share the chart, don't worry. I have multiple attempts. I have a CA, have exposure of articleship that was a stat audit and FS preparation. I'm interested in stat audit role, FTD and FPNA. Will this batch give me an answer to the same? Yes, my friend, that is going to be giving an answer to the same. Is there any opportunity for a fresher with the stat audit from a big four to enter into MBB? Right. I understand you want to get into MBB, but getting into consulting requires a spike. Spike means unexceptional work done in your career or journey is called as a spike. Unexceptional मतलब कुछ तो अलग, right? So that is what is needed, which is there. How is the role ERP implementation? Again, it's like a SAP consulting or SAP implementation. What you're going to be doing, you're going to be understanding the processes of a company in ERP implementation. Then you will help the developer to develop that processes in a tech. And once that is done, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be helping the client to implement that. That is what is there. If you're really interested into technology and processes, you can go there. One more role is nowadays going hot in the market is called as a IT audit role. IT audit में क्या होता है? You do an audit of a technology which is there. इसको हम technology risk assurance services के नाम से भी कहा जाता है, which is TRAS or IT audit. What you do? You understand the technology and processes of a client, right? And then you give an audit report on the same. Sir, I want to get into start audit domain. Will interviewer ask a question from direct tax? No, DT, IDT से कम पूछेंगे unless and until you have written in your article. So mostly they'll focus you about a start audit domain. Yes, we'll have a separate session on fund accounting, my friend. I understand you want to get into fund accounting. Chalo, great. Let's take some doubts from यूट्यूब एज वेल सर। ओवरसीज का सेशन लेंगे, बिल्कुल लेंगे बेटा। आप देखिए मेरे यूट्यूब पे ऑलरेडी ओवरसीज का सेशन अपलोडेड है और शेड्यूल भी कर दिया है। राइट, तुम्हारा भाई एकदम आगे चलता है जमाने से, टेंशन ना लो। राइट, वी हैव टेकन केयर ऑफ दैट एज वेल, ओवरसीज कैंपस प्लेसमेंट्स। बट उसके लिए फ्रेशर्स एलिजिबल नहीं है, आपके लिए नहीं है। दिस इज फॉर एक्सपीरियंस चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, तो आपके लिए नहीं है गाइस। ये आईसीआई कंडक्ट कर रहा है फॉर एक्सपीरियंस चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट। ऑलरेडी मैंने शेड्यूल करके रखा है, तो आप जब देख लेना जब आ जाएगा। ठीक है, यूट्यूब लाइव से लेते हैं चैट। हाउ टू गेट इनटू यूएस टैक्सेशन, इट इज गुड। यस, इंटरनेशनल टैक्सेशन में ध्रुव ध्रुव शाह आप ट्राई करिए, यू कैन गेट इट आउट फ्रॉम देयर। Sir, my articleship is in indirect tax. Now I want to start my career with the stat audit domain. You can do that. Yes, you can do that. But again, you have to gain some skills related to stat audit, right? इसके लिए you can do a master class available with us, right? Or you have to build a technicals related to this, because अगर interview में पूछेंगे कि say for example, how do you calculate a materiality? As simple as that. आप बोलोगे कि मुझे नहीं आता, मैंने आर्टिकलशिप आईडीटी में की है, तो फिर बोलेंगे सो सॉरी वी कैन नॉट हायर यू, राइट? तो दैट इज गोना बी देयर। I want to become a practicing CA, but want to some experience for a job in 2 years. Which domain I should target? So just domain we are thinking to build a practice. That domain you should start with, right? So that is what I would recommend. Yes, I think Jugal, I think I have answered your question, which is there. और कोई YouTube पे कोई क्वेश्चन बचे के पहले वो देख लेते हैं। Yes, Big Four or preferred domain other than a Big Four. Beta, you have to decide a domain which is there, right? And then you have to define and develop a thin line between the same, and then you have to take a decision. मर्जर एंड एक्विजिशन में कैसे जाए, मीडियोकर फर्म से हूँ, राइट? तो थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टीज बिल्ड करना पड़ेगा, राइट? अगर एमएनए में जाना है, अगेन किस में जाना है, एमएनए टैक्स में जाना है या प्योर एमएनए में जाना है, दैट इज देयर। तो सबसे पहले तो यार आपके सवाल में जवाब है, नॉलेज नहीं है तो नॉलेज ले, थिंग्स कैन बी लर्न। एमएनए आपने कोई डील पढ़ी है आज तक की? नहीं पढ़ी है तो डील पढ़े, राइट? कोई मर्जर डॉक्यूमेंट्स पढ़े, राइट? तो काफी सारे पब्लिक फोरम पे भी अवेलेबल है, सर्च करोगे तो मिलेंगे। अगर मेहनत नहीं करनी है और चीजें आसान चाहिए, तो एमएनए टैक्स का मास्टर क्लास इज आल्सो देयर इन आवर पोर्टल, यू कैन चेक दैट आउट। वहां पे आपको एमएनए टैक्स पूरा एंड टू एंड सिखाएंगे। ठीक है, डिडंट फिल द एग्जाम फॉर्म फॉर द पास अटेम्प्ट, विल इट बी कंसिडर्ड एज अटेम्प्ट? अटेम्प्ट का जतिन जी, जब आई हैव आईसी कैंपस सेशन दैट टाइम आई टेल यू आउट। अटेम्प्ट को जनरली डिफाइन किया कहीं नहीं गया है, कहीं ऐसे ऑफिशियल डेफिनेशन ले लिखी गई कि हाउ टू काउंट अ नंबर ऑफ अटेम्प्ट्स। बट आई हैव स्पोकन टू लॉट ऑफ सीसीएम्स एंड कंपनीज, एंड how do you count a number of attempts? Number of times you filled out a ICI form, exam form is counted as attempt, as simple as that. जितनी बार आपने एग्जाम फॉर्म भरा है उतने आपके अटेम्प्ट है, एज सिंपल एज दैट। अब इस पे कोई डिबेट नहीं कर सकते, राइट? और इसका कोई सही और गलत का कोई प्रूफ नहीं है, ठीक है? बट दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव स्पोकन टू मल्टीपल कंपनीज एंड ICI व्हिच इज देयर। Sir, in which domain financial modeling will play a major role? My friend, it is going to be playing in equity research, investment banking, ये सब जगह आपको ज्यादा हेल्प करेगा। एफपीएनए में भी कर सकता है थोड़ा सा। मॉडलिंग करने से आपका नंबर क्रंचिंग स्ट्रांग हो जाता है, एनालिसिस स्ट्रांग हो जाता है, व्हिच इज दैट। विच डोमेन इज अलाइंड एंड कनेक्टेड विद टेक्नोलॉजी इनोवेशन? तो बेटा आप टेक कंसल्टिंग में जा सकते हो, दैट इज वन ऑफ द डोमेन। एंड नाउ डेज डेटा एनालिटिक्स इज वन ऑफ द डोमेन व्हिच इज हायर्ड इन लॉट ऑफ बिग फोर्स, राइट? डीए टीम कहा जाती है, वेयर यू आर गोइंग टू बी वर्किंग ऑन मल्टीपल सॉफ्टवेयर्स लाइक एल्ट्रिक्स, टैब्लो, एंड लॉट ऑफ बिग फोर्स हैव देयर इन हाउस सॉफ्टवेयर वेयर यू कैन वर्क इनटू, राइट? तो अभी मैं ज्यादा सेशन हैवी नहीं करना चाहता, क्योंकि और हैवी करूंगा तो फिर वो फीफो हो जाएगा। नेक्स्ट आप बोल रहे हैं तो और पे और ज्ञान मिले जा रहा है ना? तो है काफी सारे डोमेन थे, तो है। विच डोमेन टू चूज इफ इन केस मूव फर्दर मतलब क्या होता है बेटा? मूव टू अनदर इन फ्यूचर। स्टैट ऑडिट से थोड़ा एग्जिट ज्यादा मिलता है एज कम्पेयर टू अदर डोमेन्स, दैट इज व्हाट इट इज। In masterclass of a CA monk, will it cover in a technical interview? Masterclass is prepared in such a way that you are going to be taught a technical from a zero. राइट? आपने ऑडिट नहीं किया तो आपको एक डमी डेटा से ऑडिट कराना सिखाएंगे फ्रॉम अ जीरो, एज इफ इट इज डन इन अ बिग फोर। दैट इज व्हाट अ मास्टर क्लास इज, राइट? तो दैट इज व्हाट यू हैव कवर्ड। नाउ वन ऑफ द बेस्ट थिंग ऑफ अ मास्टर क्लास इज, से फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू ऑप्ट फॉर अ जीआर बैच, आपने जीआर बैच चूज की तो एक मास्टर क्लास आपको फ्री में मिलती है, राइट? आप खुद से खरीदोगे, इट विल कॉस्ट यू $2,000, नंबर वन। सेकंड, एडिशनल मास्टर क्लास यू गेट एट 50% ऑफ, so that is also taken care of. Third, you get a one-on mock interview. Fourth, you get a 300 coins on tools. Fifth, you have a regular mentorship session. Sixth, right? Whatever is asked in interviews, mostly you will have a interview session or a guidance session for same. Say for example, कल आपका इंटरव्यू है जेपी मॉर्गन से, आपको नहीं पता क्या पढ़ना, कोई टेंशन नहीं है। You already have a conducted a JP Morgan का session, a guidance session by our mentors or students, those who are placed in JP Morgan, they already have a session. कहाँ पे? YouTube पे नहीं है रे, GR batch में, right? You'll get a recording for the same. Right, we have more than 400 sessions uploaded of a company which is there. Next, if you need any of the help or connect, सर कल मेरा इंटरव्यू है, नहीं समझ में आ रहा क्या पढ़ूं, we have a doubt solving session, come to us. Or many a times I give you a reference of a student who's already working into that company. So you can talk to him. Next, you face the out problem saying that not able to decide. सर कहाँ ज्वाइन करूँ नहीं समझ में आ रहा और सर कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा है कोई टेंशन नहीं यू कम इन डाउट सॉल्विंग सेशन विल बी हैप्पी टू गिव यू रेफरेंसेस आल्सो ठीक है so that is there yes sir I have registered for GIBS so should I register for startup and masterclass nahi Malika ji you don't need to register for it you will get one masterclass free of cost which is there right so I don't have a great exposure in articleship if I choose to prepare for interview workshop yes दर्शन जी अगर आप चूज करते हो तो आपको हेल्प होगा बट द क्वेश्चन आई विल आस्क यू आर यू रेडी टू वर्क हार्ड बिकॉज इट इज नॉट गोना बी अ हनीमून फेज विच यू आर गोना बी अज्यूमिंग आप बोलोगे कि बैच में आऊंगा बढ़िया से बैठूंगा और होगा और वीडियो बंद करके बैठूंगा नहीं बेटा वहां डंडा मिल जाएगा राइट अभी तो सेशन है इट्स ओके दैट पीपल हैव कीप देयर वीडियोस ऑफ पीपल आर सिटिंग इन अ कंफर्टेबल पोजीशन right but in a batch we are very serious and particular which is there because interview preparation cannot be done watching a videos please understand because interview में you have to speak बक बक करना पड़ता है आपको बोलना पड़ेगा right who will get selected a person who speaks well even if you're not have a great articleship experience but if you're able to deliver it well articulation is good enough happy to hire you so that is what it is ठीक है चलो विल टेक लास्ट वन और टू डाउट्स सर बैंकिंग सेक्टर में एक्सपोजर के बारे में बताओ देखो अगेन बैंकिंग में आई हैव टोल्ड यू आउट 3-4 मेजर रोल्स आर देयर इंटरनल ऑडिट रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर क्रेडिट मैनेजर ट्रेजरी एंड फाइनेंस 4-5 रोल्स आर ऑफर्ड तो इसमें से यू हैव टू डिसाइड नीरज जी व्हिच रोल यू वांट टू गेट इनटू I want to join MNC and corporate primary as a fresher. What all roles will be there for my friend? Yes, so finance, I've just told you out the chart which you have done. So you can just rewind it back, you'll get an answer. Since I have a career gap in my journey, so should I go for ICI campus placements and whether GR batch will be beneficial? Yes, GR batch will be definitely beneficial for you. And if you have a career gap, I'll tell you what you have to do, right? But over a period of time, you have to gain some technicals and you have to prove your storyline. Storyline building is really important when it comes to delivery, which is there. Okay, strategy to move from FP&A, move to FP&A from stat audit, nearly 2 years of stat audit experience. Sandeep Arora, you can do that, right? You need to have a good references, which is going to be taken care of. Divya ji पूछ रहे हैं, will we have a GD sessions in GR batch? I told you everything is taken care of. So GD is also one of the important part for the batch which is there. ओके किसी ने कहा है ये सब छोड़ो ऐसा कोई प्रोफाइल बताओ जिसमें वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस मिलता है एक आसान सा जॉब बोलता हूँ कोई काम नहीं करता घर पे बैठ जाने का बस नहीं बेटा ऐसा नहीं करते यार मतलब देखो यार यूर ए चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट यू कैन नॉट से दैट आई विल नीड अ वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस ठीक है एज अ इनिशियल पार्ट ऑफ योर करियर बट इफ यू नीड इट आउट आई कैन जस्ट रेफर यू 2-3 रोल्स जैसे R2R प्रोफाइल में थोड़ा वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस रहेगा ग्लोबल फॉर्म में वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस रहेगा इंडस्ट्री साइड थोड़ा सा वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस रहेगा so this all roles I would recommend you out but initially as a part of a career you should not go for it ठीक है having average articleship experience can I go for FTD again सबसे पहला FTD में resume shortlisting is again important to have get into FTD recommended is stat audit exposure that is one right and strong CV is needed once your CV is shortlisted you will have a case study round FTD में case study round fix है कोई भी बिग 4 बिग 6 में FTD राउंड क्लियर नहीं कर पाओगे तब तक के जब तक के केस स्टडी राउंड क्लियर करोगे इट्स अ फिक्स पैटर्न फिक्स है तो केस स्टडी में क्या देंगे आपको कोई एक्सेल शीट देंगे यू हैव टू डू सम डेटा क्रंचिंग एंड एनालिसिस व्हिच इज ऑलरेडी टॉट यू इन मास्टर क्लास बट केस स्टडी राउंड फिक्स है व्हिच इज गोना बी हैपनिंग इन एवरी FTD इंटरव्यू ठीक है तो आई थिंक वी हैव कवर्ड लॉट मोर थिंग्स गाइस आई नो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ डाउट्स डोंट वरी वी हैव लॉट मोर सेशंस इन अपकमिंग डेज फॉर यू गाइस काफी सारे सेशन है आपके लिए right you come in the upcoming sessions you have a gain some lot of knowledges which is there right so I can completely understand right dil mange more right so dil mange more to rahega hi right but I'm going to be there don't worry with you guys so you can join the upcoming session which is on second ko we have now pre-kickoff session right for GR 70th batch. If you're not able to understand what is going to be happening in GR, what is GR, should I join it or not, right? If you have any second doubt, you can join the pre-kickoff batch. But I don't know. मेरे को लग रहा है कि उसके पहले batch full हो जाएगा because I think today also we got a good registration. If you're serious and interested to prepare for an interviews, you can join the GR batch and you can take a feedback from any of our students, right? Any students who's working into a company, आप feedback ले सकते हो. right so lot of edge you get it out when you're part of a GR batch right जैसे कि you get an edge of any opening coming into market you get an edge of what is a CTC structured often in a market तो ये सब चीजों का भी edge मिल जाता है just there right so that is taken care of don't worry about it इसके साथ साथ right if you have any more queries which is left still left I know there will be few queries which is going to be left So you can just put it out in the comment section. I'll be happy to reply for the same. That is one. Second, you can check additional sessions which I've shown it to you on my YouTube channel, like session on PSU, session on startups, that session on teaching, session on investment banking, session on consulting. We have the session on the same. You can just check it out. That is going to be helping you. Also, don't forget to register yourself for upcoming events. That is there. And if you're interested to prepare for your interviews, you can register for GI batch. If you only want a technical knowledge, you can go for a masterclass as well, which is also on our website. Okay. And also you can practice your interviews with the AI interview bot on tools.cmonk.com. So that is also taken care of. तो जितना हमसे हो रहा है उतना हम फ्री में दे रहे हैं जितना ऑफ कोर्स विच इज नीडेड वे वी आर चार्जिंग तो ये भी काफी सारी चीजें आपको कोशिश कर रहे हैं जितना हो सके मतलब बेस्ट से बेस्ट प्रोडक्ट तो ऐसी चीजें दी गई हैं विच इज नॉट अवेलेबल इन अ मार्केट राइट ये बॉट किसी ने नहीं बनाया दिस फर्स्ट एआई वर्सेंट इंटरव्यू बॉट विच इज क्रिएटेड बाय अस राइट पूरी इंडस्ट्री में सबसे बड़ा ये इंटरव्यू बॉट है राइट यू कैन यूज इट आउट प्रैक्टिस इट विच इज देयर बट ऑफ कोर्स इट रिक्वायर्स अ कॉइन तो कॉइन्स लगेंगे तो उसके लिए रिचार्ज करना पड़ेगा बट अगेन यू हैव टू डू इट इट्स इन्वेस्टमेंट यू हैव टू डू फॉर योर करियर दैट इज व्हाट आई से ठीक है तो विद दिस विल कंक्लूड द सेशन थैंक यू गाइस एवरीवन फॉर जॉइनिंग इन एंड आई विश यू ऑल ऑफ यू गाइस अ हैप्पी न्यू ईयर बिकॉज वील बी मीटिंग आउट आफ्टर ए न्यू ईयर गाइस तो अच्छा सा एक नया साल का एक रेजोल्यूशन बनाइए कि अच्छी सी नौकरी राइट नौकरी चाहिए पहले नौकरी फिर छोकरी बेटा है ना तो पहले नौकरी ढूंढना राइट रेजोल्यूशन बनाओ कि आई हैव टू गेट इनटू द बेस्ट कंपनीज ऑफ अ वर्ल्ड दैट शुड बी योर विजन विद द हाईएस्ट पैकेज विद अ गुड पैकेज व्हिच इज देयर एंड रियल फीलिंग इज व्हेन यू गेट द बेस्ट पैकेजेस ट्रस्ट मी जितना खुशी आपको सीए बन के हुआ होगा ना यू मस्ट बी हैप्पी व्हेन यू बिकम अ सीए ट्रस्ट मी you'll get 4 times happiness when you get an offer letter of 15 lakh 12 lakh in front of your eyes मम्मी को बोलोगे मम्मी 15 लाख की जॉब लग गई राइट शील हैव अ टीयर्स इन हर आईज सेइंग दैट वाह यार मजा आ गया देन शील कैलकुलेट 15 डिवाइडेड बाय 12 15 डिवाइडेड बाय 12 ओ माय गॉड 1,25,000 नाइस उसके बाद मम्मी सोचेगी डायमंड नेकलेस ठीक है तो दैट इज अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी बट इट्स अ फन राइट इट्स अ फन ट्रस्ट मी तो 90% ऑफ योर प्रॉब्लम विल बी सॉल्व व्हेन यू स्टार्ट अर्निंग इट so you have put a lot of efforts to become a CA. Now it's time to nurture it. It's only possible when you get into best companies. Right? So don't miss out any of the opportunities because of anything out. Right? I know you have a potential to do it. So ensure that you work to your fullest level, the way you have worked for your CA journey. Give your best. We are there to help you out and support you. But of course, you have to work hard, guys. So with this, we'll conclude our session. Wish you guys a happy new year and all the best for upcoming days. Thank you guys for joining in. We'll meet in 2nd of January, which is a session on pre-kickoff session for a GR batch. Till then, bye-bye. Take care and stay safe.